Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the action in the World Cup of Pro Wrestling continues here tonight with the second matches in Group A. And there you see Bret Hart sat at the top of the table on 3 points, the Iron Sheik on 1 point. If somebody can win this match, they will end up at the top of Group A. A lot on the line here. And especially for this man, a win here for Bret Hart would pretty much guarantee him a spot in the knockout stages.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a group match in the World Cup of Professional Wrestling. Introducing first, representing Canada, he weighs in tonight at 234 pounds, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, a great start to the proceedings by Bret Hart, defeating the Giant Gonzalez, going top of Group A. And as we said, a win here for the Hitman will put Canada through the knockout stages. Tough opponent he faces, a man that's capable of causing any opponent all kinds of problems.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, representing his country of Iran, he weighs in tonight at 258 pounds, the Iron Sheik.
Well, two former world champions set to do battle. Star-studded Group A it is. Only Giant Gonzalez not held a world title in the past. And the Iron Sheik coming out with a pretty good draw against Rey Mysterio. He would have liked for it to be a win, and it could very well have been a win. Mysterio just getting a fall in the nick of time towards the end of the match, but the Iron Sheik will be hoping for a good result here. He believes he can beat Bret Hart, and I've got no reason to doubt him as we get this underway. But wait a minute, the Iron Sheik jumping Bret Hart here. Bret Hart was not prepared for that, trying to gain an advantage over his opponent before the match has even started, and it seemed to have succeeded, but Bret Hart may have just angered the Hitman there. Unfortunately, the cameras weren't quick enough to capture that, but the Iron Sheik jump starting the match before the bell had rang. And now Bret Hart, though, still not losing his composure and doing what he normally does, which is target the legs of the man, hoping to wear him down for the sharpshooter. Trying to fluster the Hitman, but Bret Hart on his game, as he most of the time he always is. I'm really going to work now on the legs of the Iron Sheik, on the knees, trying to keep the man down on the canvas. Bret Hart seems to have the same game plan as the last match, but it certainly worked against the Giant Gonzalez. Now the lateral press, the shoulders down, nearly getting our first fall there, but the Iron Sheik getting the shoulder up. And this match continues at 0-0, yet to have a fall, only a minute in though. Plenty of time left, and look at that neat kick to the gut, and just slapping Bret Hart across the head. Blatant disrespect from the Iron Sheik, and now choking him, and the referee, well, the referee warning the Sheik but not doing anything. That's an illegal move to choke the man like that. Nonetheless, the Iron Sheik goes for the lateral press, and the referee delaying the pinfall there to tell the Sheik. Nonetheless, it could have been enough there to get the first fall, but Bret Hart getting the shoulder up once again. A nice drop kick by the Sheik. I think that start may have thrown Bret Hart a little bit out of his comfort zone. May have knocked him off his game plan slightly. It seemed like it was business as usual from Bret Hart, but been far from it recently. And now the Iron Sheik trying to put some hurting on the body of the representative of Canada, and he shouldn't be doing that once again. It's a second illegal move, not to mention jump starting the match before the bell rang. And really, if I was the referee, I'd be penalising the Iron Sheik. I think I'd award a fall to Bret Hart just for the fact that you shouldn't be gaining anything from these dirty moves, illegal moves in the match. Nonetheless, the Hitman trying to fight back here, comes off the ropes. Look at this sunset flip, tries a quick cover, but too close to the ropes by the Hitman. And the referee goes for the break. The Iron Sheik trying to charge in, but Hart with a nice counter. As now Bret Hart sends him into the corner, comes running in, tries a clothesline, but the Sheik saw that one coming, just sticking the elbow up, and the Hitman may have lost a couple of teeth on that one. As the Iron Sheik really doing a great job thus far against Bret Hart. He sends him for the ride. A nice counter though by Bret Hart, and these two men really not giving the other one an inch. As Hart dives off the ropes, big elbow drop, a big move from Hart, not something he normally does, goes off the top rope, and that could be enough to get the first fall and put the Sheik away, and it very nearly was, but the Iron Sheik sticking in there again. I think Hart getting much more of a fight than he anticipated, but we all know the Iron Sheik, a former world champion. Do not underestimate him. He'd probably favour Bret Hart when you look at these two men's careers, but believe me, the Iron Sheik, there's a reason he beat Bob Backlund in '83 for the WWF title. Very, very capable. He might not be after this move though. Bret Hart applying the figure four. More pressure on the knees, on the ankles. And the Iron Sheik really writhing in pain at the moment, but the Hitman having to break that hold. Maybe the Iron Sheik just making it a little bit uncomfortable for him there. A veteran like the Sheik can make it difficult for you to keep a submission like that on you. And that's exactly what he did with Hart now, as the Sheik manages to take him down, tries picking him up, maybe going for the camel clutch there. As the Sheik now trying to resort to brawling, and it works very well as the Hitman goes tumbling over the top rope to the outside. The Iron Sheik doing very well here against Bret Hart, and the Hitman may have to re-strategize because what he's doing at the moment just isn't working. As the Sheik sends him into the corner, comes running in, tries the clothesline. Nice counter by the Hitman though, and a big left hand takes him down. Nobody's making it easy in this match, and a nice clothesline and bulldog combination though by the Hitman. The bulldog out of the corner, and now has the Sheik on the canvas again. What's he going to go for? Going for the figure four again, and once again locks it in on the Iron Sheik. The Sheik's had a lot taken out of him when it comes to the knees and the ankles. The Hitman's really done a number on him throughout this match, and he may just have to tap out here, but once again Bret Hart could not keep that figure four locked in. Nonetheless, the Hitman just goes for a different move once again, targeting the leg, trying to hyperextend the knee, and the Sheik finding himself in a very unfortuitous position here, at the mercy of the Hitman. Now the Hitman takes him down, but the Sheik rings the arm, but Hitman flips out, and Bret Hart takes him down, just sweep the legs from under him. As Bret Hart looks to try and take over in this match, hooks the arm, nice vertical suplex by Hart. But still nearly 6 minutes gone, only just over 3 minutes remaining, and yet to have a fall in this match as Bret Hart sends the Sheik for the ride off the ropes, and that's a beautiful move, total world backbreaker, a move you don't see too much in the ring these days, and a very effective move as now tries sending him for the ride once again, but this time the Sheik reversing, and once again the referee doing nothing but giving him a verbal warning. Oh, come on. The Iron Sheik exposing that steel turnbuckle, removing the protective pad. Maybe this is his plan to try and get the fall against Bret Hart. And I don't think the referee's noticed that he's removed the pad. Done very sneakily. Oh, and Bret Hart could be in trouble here. This is not good for any Canadians watching this, but nice reversal by Hart as he tries sending him in, and the plan backfired there. The Iron Sheik exposing that turnbuckle to use against Bret Hart. Hart ended up using it against him. Now perches him on the top turnbuckle. Big time superplex. And surely if Bret Hart goes for the cover this time, we're going to have our first fall. As Bret Hart now with a lateral press, referee makes the counter. My God, the Iron Sheik, I'll tell you what, give him credit. He took the turnbuckle to the spine, the superplex off the top, and he is still in there, not giving up. And maybe Bret Hart trying to apply the sharpshooter there, but the Sheik knew that it would have been game over if he'd have locked that in. Wisely gets out of the way, and the Sheik, what an effort he's putting in. He's really doing the people of Iran proud here. As now Bret Hart tries sending the Sheik to the outside, comes charging in with a nice shoulder block, and the Sheik stays in the ring as Bret Hart on jelly legs. Nice snapmare takeover by the Iron Sheik. Just over 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. There's no way of knowing if there is going to be a first fall, who's going to get it, but at the moment the Iron Sheik applying the camel clutch, the same move he used in '83 to win the world title, but he's not going to be able to use it on that occasion, too close to the ropes. And the Sheik not happy with the referee, but turns his back on Hart. Big mistake. The Sheik letting his anger and frustration get the better of him there. You can't turn your back on your opponent in that ring. One of the simplest things to get wrong, but we see so many people do it when they lose the cool. There's 1 minute left on the clock here. Bret Hart dragging him. Wraps the legs up and finally applies the sharpshooter. The Sheik a long way away from the ropes, surely. This match is going to end here with one fall, or maybe not. The Sheik managing to fight his way out of the sharpshooter. I don't recall anybody doing that before. The Iron Sheik is determined. Pure pride for his nation as Bret Hart has to try something drastic. Tries the crossbody, he does knock him down. Doesn't get a clean connection. Only 30 seconds left. Is there anything either of these men can do here to get a fall before that time limit expires? Only 20 seconds left now. And now Bret Hart once again wraps the legs up. Locks the sharpshooter in again. Can the Iron Sheik hold on for the remainder of the time? Just over 10 seconds left. And no, he can't. The Iron Sheik couldn't hold on. The pain of the sharpshooter too much. And Bret Hart goes 1-0 with only 3 seconds left. And the Sheik frustrated with the referee. And this one's over. Bret Hart, your winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Bret Hart.
Well, what a win for Bret Hart. And if you look at the standings in the group, he's got every right to be very happy with himself. A hard-fought match there. There you see Bret Hart on 6 points. The Iron Sheik still on 1 point after that loss. Very, very close to getting at least a point out of that. And Mysterio and Gonzalez. Mysterio on 1 point, Gonzalez on 0. Bret Hart guaranteed a place in the knockout stages in the semi-finals. Ladies and gentlemen, we turn our attention to the next match between Giant Gonzalez and Rey Mysterio. Mexico against Argentina, a South American affair, and a win for either of those two men will go up to second place. A lot on the line, and that is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, in 2 hours time, 11 PM Eastern time. Do not miss it.